another channel. His name is Sam Prime, and most people call him Prime. Introduce yourself.
How y'all doing? I'm George. George of the Jungle.
And what channel are you from?
House of Grey Rabbit.
And what do you do?
We critique bad horror movies.
Or some good ones.
Yeah, we've had one good one.
Yeah, I actually watched that one. It was pretty.
Yeah, we're actually.
I saw some glimpses of it.
We're actually very surprised whenever we watched the movie. We're like, oh my god, it's a good movie.
Yeah. I mean, most of these old 90s, 80s movies now are just like these.
And, you know, like it's like what we said, you know, there was so many red herrings in this movie, we didn't know who was the killer until the very end. It's like, oh wow, she was there the entire time.
Yeah.
It was crazy, but it was really good.
It's just like Scream.
It was actually more red herrings than that in Scream than what was in Scream.
So, let's talk about the Hulk. Which Hulk did you like better? The Bruce Banner or the David Banner?
I would probably say that's a tough decision.
Because with Bruce Banner, his father passed on the gene.
Yeah.
And then he got the radiation. With David Banner, he
already had it.
He already had it. He just as a science or a lab explosion.
Yeah. I would probably have to say.
I would actually say David Banner was better.
Yeah.
Because it's more along with the comics.
Yeah, the very first Incredible Hulk, it was okay, but it wasn't as good as the Incredible Hulk, because you had
now in the Avengers, you actually get to hear the Hulk actually become more intelligent.
Yeah.
I haven't seen Thor Ragnarok yet.
It's good.
But I heard that
it's hilarious.
You know, Thor is actually more able to complete more sentences in there too.
Yeah. It's funny. Spoilers.
And then in the second, or in the Infinity War, he resists coming out on the field.
Yeah, he doesn't want to.
He's starting to get a mind.
Yeah.
So, what's your predictions on the Hulk in the second war, or the second Infinity War?
I hope they're all. I really want him to be safe, and it's gonna be interesting to see what happens. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens with this Endgame.
Oh yeah. I mean, because there's so many theories on the internet now about what Doctor Strange did to the time stone.
Yeah.
I mean, was he able to duplicate it and trick Thanos and basically making it where when he uses it,
Yeah.
he destroys himself,
Yeah.
or is able to make it, become more undoable.
It's going to be interesting to see what happens. Especially with the fact that you have you're going to have Ant-Man and the Wasp both there. You're going to have all of the people who haven't been in there yet.
And there's going to be a cameo of Hugh Jackman.
Which actually that is no longer there.
So
Hugh Jackman's not going to be there anymore. If you actually go on to his Wikipedia, I did it the other day.
Okay.
And it does not show Infinity War, Avengers, Infinity War anymore like he used to. So there's no telling. But you still have enough. You still have 23 characters who are going to be in this next movie, and so it's going to be interesting. It's still going to be interesting to find out who's going to be doing what.
Yeah. It's going to be very interesting.
Yeah. And then, of course, they're going to bring in Captain Marvel.
Yeah. Now, let's talk about her.
Her movie comes out in March the 8th. And then Endgame comes in April the 26th. So it's like back to back Marvel movies.
1 month difference.
Yeah. It's going to be interesting to see. I know one thing. I know the previews for Captain Marvel is really good. It's hilarious.
Nick Fury had it on speed dial.
Yeah.
So he had a contingency plan. Yeah.
I think she's
hit the fan.
I think she's one of the contingency plans. I think her and the Hulk are one of the two. Because if you think about it, he left in the first Avengers movie, or the Infinity Wars. He left. Yeah. He disappeared.
He went to space.
Yeah, he didn't want to be.
Because he wanted to find himself.
Yeah.
But, now, in the combat scene, let's talk about the combat scene between Thanos and the Hulk. Hulk is basically a brute.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
He doesn't know how to fight. That's basically, a boxer going up against a kickboxer.
Yeah.
The boxer knows how to throw punches.
Yeah.
Kickboxer has more training, more endurance.
Yeah.
And he's been in more fights than the boxer.
Depends on how many fights the boxer's been in.
True.
But the thing about kickboxers are more into.
They're more versatile.
They're more, yeah. It's kind of like they're basically another version of MMA fighter.
Exactly.
They're not full-fledged MMA fighter, but they're up there with the MMA fighters. Which I thought you had seen MMA for over 20 years. Me and Scotty used to watch MMA. We used to run VHSs of MMA.
Now let's talk about MMA here. I do want to do a shout out to a good friend. His name is Baca. He has went up against some tough customers in his career now.
I just thought those guys have more balls than I do.
He was just an amateur type. Now he's a professional type.
Yeah, like I said,
he's enjoying every bit of it.
Like I said, they have bigger balls than I do.
And a stronger spine.
Mainly bigger balls.
Balls of steel.
Just a tad bit.
I wasn't able to do a tribute. I don't know if Prime here was able to do a tribute to Stan Lee.
Oh, man.
He was one of the greatest comic book writers and cameo actors.
I think the surgery went very well. He's not moving. He's kind of dead. Hey, dude. We fixed you.
And
we took care of you left me.
you know,
Oh, did y'all
I
see-
haven't seen hardly any of the DC, you know, comic book makers or writers or even the ones who, you know, wrote or drawn any of the DC comic books
Yeah.
do a cameo in any of the other videos or even a picture of them.
I think Stan Lee's the only one I know of.
Stan Lee and I think someone else of the comics.
Yeah. Mainly Stan Lee.
And now, Marvel Universal company is actually thinking of either putting his picture on the wall or have a hologram.
I believe it.
Because
He's just.
Stan Lee has become immortal now.
Oh, yeah. He's.
I mean, most people tries to get what he has. Now, here's a good question for you, Sam.
I might have an answer.
I hope you do.
George Bush.
You played Dead Space, have you not? Or you've watched some of the footage?
I've watched this face.
Now, I'm pretty sure you've watched the Alien series.
Oh, yeah. I have all the Alien movies. But I'm also an movie hoarder.
Yes, he is. I haven't seen his collection yet, but
I have a few movies, okay?
But now here is my question for you, Sam.
Yes.
I'm going to pick your brain on this one.
I don't have very much of a brain. It's kind of
Mush.
mush.
But
Kind of went to.
you know the Predators, right?
Yes.
Now, if we take the Necromorphs, which is the enemies in Dead Space that you have to fight
Yes.
against, and you take the Xenomorphs, which is the Alien series,
Yes.
and you also take the Yachtway, which is the name for the Predators.
I did not know that. But
I didn't know how what the name of it was until I did the YouTube search.
I just knew Predators.
I mean, that's what we called them.
Yeah, and then Aliens, of course. I mean, we always do Xenomorphs.
Or a bug hunt
Yeah.
type thing, you know.
Yeah. But I didn't know that they actually had a name. Because it was
You know.
just a, Pred Alien.
Yeah. Now, here's the funny thing. Predators are higher advanced technology,
Yes.
hunters. Let's just give them, say, 3 groups of 3. So that's 9 Yachtway or Predators for some of you who can't say the name. It
For
took
some
me.
people here in Westwell, like me.
Now,
What day is it?
yeah, we put
Who are you?
Xenomorphs, aka aliens,
Yes.
Necromorphs, the undead zombie creatures from Dead Space.
Don't forget about zombies from Walking Dead.
Well, we're not going to do zombies,
But they're cool. They go.
and they're slow.
Well, not as slow as they used to be.
No,
You go back in the old days of
Yeah.
the original zombie movies. Yes, they were very slow.
and then you put 3 teams of the 3 groups of each team. Each group is 3. Yachtway or Predator. Who do you think would win in that confrontation? The planet is filled with all sorts of creatures and human type beings.
Out of the 3,
Out of the 3.
can I choose 2? Because my opinion, my opinion.
Sure.
Out of the 3 of them, I would say the Predators and the Xenomorphs, because of the fact that the Xenomorphs can replicate,
Basically, they can
Basically,
take on the characteristics of the host.
faster. And then you have the Predators who are just badass because they can just kill you and not even think about it. And then you have the other. I mean, being that they never really made any type of movies based off of Dead Space. I mean, they made the Dead Space cartoon, which was actually really good.
The anime.
The anime was I watched on Netflix. It was actually really good.
Yeah.
They were, like I said, I think I have Dead Space 1 and 2 for a 360, and I kind of delved into it a little bit for the first one. I really haven't really got into it, you know. But watching the movie, the anime,
I mean, it puts you in
perspective. Of what and basically they're another version. To me, they're a second version of the Xenomorphs.
True.
Or
they could be a parasitic type organism that took on the xenomorph type genome.
Yeah.
And the zombie genome.
True, because it's kind of a two-way street.
Because they could either infect, I should say the face-hugging bat creatures, which I can't remember what the name of them are, with a very pokey tongue type thing that stabs you in the forehead.
Really, people?
Yeah, really.
It's like...
I mean, in the first one, you actually see it humping a dead corpse, and then a few seconds later, it's turned. And I mean, that's quicker than the xenomorph.
It's true, that's quick. But then again, with xenomorphs,
it has to ingest and incubate and take on the DNA
of the host. And then it decides to burst through your chest.
Exactly.
So it kind of...
But, now here is my pick of this three-way battle of these three freaking godlike creatures. I'm going to say... I mean, I do not want to face neither one of them on a dark alley.
Oh no, especially the alien and the predator. No.
Oh god. Oh.
Especially the latest predator.
Now, you have Dead Space 1 and the second Dead Space. But what you probably didn't know was Dead Space 2 actually has another game on there.
Oh really?
Yes, it's called Dead Space Extraction.
Oh,
it's actually the prequel to the first Dead Space.
Oh, really?
Yes. How all of it started.
You know, and that's the thing that I've always noticed, that it doesn't make any sense how they do that.
Well, see, originally,
it's kind of like, I say, I've been watching movies all my life. I'm pushing 39 years old, and so I've been watching movies for
He's been watching it 5 years longer than me. Trust me, guys.
I mean, I've been watching. I can't tell you whenever I first started watching movies, but it doesn't even do anything. Okay, that's creepy. But it just, and so like I said, you have a nice collection.
I do, but that's not all of them.
I'm just saying, but like, last time I counted,
I'm pretty sure you probably have over 300.
Probably,
easily.
That's with series, compilation series, you name it. That includes Blu-rays too, Blu-rays,
now,
DVDs.
Here is my pick. For this three-way war, because what Sam did not realize is
the answer is C. Always C, people.
Now, in IVP, before I reveal my suggestion and probably the truth here about this war,
because apparently I'm stupid.
I didn't say that.
He's saying he just doesn't want to admit it.
Now.
Tell by his voice. He's smiling.
Now, Sam, you've watched AVP record.
Oh my god, I had them.
Okay. You see how the Predator alien,
yes,
which is half Predator and half alien,
which is actually the alien queen. It's a new version of the alien queen.
That's the nice thing about the xenomorphs, which we'll go into detail on that, is able to produce not just one, but 3 embryos at once.
Oh, yeah.
And now here's the funny thing about that one is it didn't go after men.
It went after women.
It went after women,
Pregnant women.
especially pregnant women, because I mean
they were ready to go.
Their womb is already stretched, so there's plenty of room there.
Oh yeah.
You know, I
Kind of
mean,
like the movie Slither. Have you ever seen Slither?
oh God, that was a good movie, but it's a B rated.
Actually, it's not.
It's a cult.
Yes, it's a cult film. Yeah.
Oh,
It's kind of like
we'll go to that.
yeah, we'll. Yeah.
But
They say it's a B rated. I don't think
Yeah.
it is.
Now-
I think it's freaking hilarious. That's sweet.
let's say the Predator alien was the queen. Yeah, the aliens would get a massive boost in numbers against the xenomorphs and the Yakshui or predators. But what they don't have, and the necromorphs do have, is the ability to make certain necromorphs into regenerators.
True.
Where, oh yeah, you can cut the limbs off, you can cut the head off. 5 seconds later, 15 seconds later, they're back hunting your ass down.
True.
And you have to use, a jet engine to kill one into a big pile of ash. It's nerve-wracking.
What was interesting to me is that in the Pred Alien is that if you notice, it only created xenomorphs.
Exactly.
It never created any more Pred Aliens.
Nope.
It was strictly xenomorphs,
Yep.
which I thought that was
The humanoid xenomorphs.
yeah, which I thought that was very interesting.
Oh, yeah.
You know,
Now, here's something else that a lot of people forget is xenomorphs, by their name, is alien morphic.
yeah,
Which means, say, the big queen dies. A drone becomes a warrior. The warrior becomes the new queen.
hmm
That's basically how they are programmed and formed.
yeah. And that's why they actually made the movies Prometheus.
You
could
see the process of how it progressed.
I'm curious to know if they're going to do any more crossover movies with Alien and the Predators, because that they've been
Now, in the game, which I've played several times.
Oh, Alien vs Predator.
Oh yes, It's a very good movie.
Which I thought it was cool that you could play either as Alien the Predator or the
but
soldier.
now here's how you're supposed to play it. You're supposed to play Alien first.
Oh really? So I always played the soldier and then got my ass twirled by the aliens.
Then you're supposed to play as the humans. And then lastly, you're supposed to play as the Predator, because the Predator ties all up. Because
he's the one that
he's the last one on the planet, because he has to face the Predator alien that was impregnated. And this one is not fertile. It's a warrior type.
Oh wow.
See, that's the reason why I liked how the xenomorphs was always portrayed. It doesn't matter their caste; they don't give a shit about their caste.
Yeah.
Their main objective is numbers, because they're a hive, like ants. They multiply and they spread.
And take over.
And they take over.
And predators, all
they hunt. They're big game hunters.
Yeah.
Humans, we're locusts.
We're just there. We're there for the xenomorphs to
impregnate
and take over.
Now, here's something that a lot of people don't really understand about xenomorphs. Xenomorphs don't care what gender you are.
Oh, no.
They don't care if you're a kid, a baby, because first, the egg goes inside your stomach because of acid. It's hydrochloric acid, strong enough to actually eat through aluminum.
Oh yeah.
And probably some other metals.
Yeah, they prove it's every metal.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It's
that powerful.
It's like on the acid acidic
Matrix,
range,
yeah,
it's like a 1.
Yeah.
I mean, if it was a 0, we'd be dead.
Yeah.
I mean, that's basically xenomorph's blood.
That's
I mean,
all they
xenomorph's
are.
blood is
It's
just...
acid.
I mean, it's just pure stomach acid that's
Yeah.
more concentrated.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, in the fourth Aliens, with Ripley being half.
What was the clone?
Exactly, but she's still half.
Yeah.
And the Queen is now half human too, in a sense, because she's given life birth, not egg birth,
Yeah.
which is kind of ironic.
But also, if you remember,
But the Queen was also a clone too.
yeah, if you think about it, because technically Ripley died whenever she.
Ripley and the Queen both died in the third movie by, I think, molten
lava, yeah.
lava
It was
or
in the,
metal.
it was in the prison.
Because it's like about 3,000 degrees.
Yeah.
There's no way you
Because
can
she
survive.
knew that if she didn't kill the baby, it would keep on going.
Oh yeah.
But of
Because
course,
Wayland wants to study it.
Yeah,
He
and of
wants
course-
to make it into a weapon.
which honestly, and it, I love movies,
Because
but
that's where the actual game takes place, is
after,
them actually capturing and breeding the damn things.
yeah. Which I thought was, which it kind of blew my mind when because at the end of 3, she dies.
Mm-hmm.
So technically, there is no possible way for you to be able to get
No.
any type of DNA. And
Because
then
it's all crispy.
gone. Yeah. And then next you know, in Alien 4,
It's clones.
You have clones of Ripley.
Now, there could have been some
I'm pretty sure there
blood
was.
on the railing.
There probably was.
Very, very minute,
Yeah.
but still.
And I love the fact that they brought in Winona Ryder as one of the cyborgs,
Mm-hmm.
the updated version of the cyborg. Yeah.
The one that actually has feelings.
Yeah. And I love the fact that the Queen gives birth to a live,
almost human giant.
Yeah.
That ripped. No.
What?
Trying to remember what happened here. Because it goes nuts on the ship. Because
it killed the Queen.
Yeah, I mean, it just went.
Because the Queen was,
It just went like this, and then I could say Glory killed the Queen.
Yeah, because the Queen was going to kill the mother.
Because the scent,
Yeah, because
the pheromones
she knew that
did not match.
Well, she knew that Ripley was her mother.
Or it.
Yeah. It knew that Ripley was their actual mother.
Yeah.
And that's why it tore the Queen in half and went after
And then started protecting Ripley.
Yeah, and then of course, what does Ripley do?
She jettisons in it out in space through a pinhole in glass. I am sorry, people, but that is impossible.
It's movies. Anything is possible.
Of course, but
in reality,
that whole window would be
gone,
blown out.
But then again, like we said, this is
the
movies. Anything is possible in movies.
But plus, too, it's also acid, so there is some give and take there because I mean, acid, it doesn't crack like blunt or sharp objects. It burns through.
Yeah.
So it's burning through the glass, which of course we're going to say probably 3-inch thick.
Yeah. But you're
Max,
in space. So
yeah, you gotta have. You gotta have enough pressure there
to be able
to breathe.
Because if not, you're screwed.
Yeah.
Especially when you're in deep space.
Yeah.
Or any type of space.
And that's when she finds out that her blood is also acidic enough to burn through glass.
Oh, she knew that before.
Well, she knew that she could burn through certain things, like metal. Yeah. But, I mean, glass is a little different.
Yeah.
Because it can just smear and make, travel down like a drill going 45 degrees angle.
Yeah.
But it just went straight through.
Yeah.
And that's when she basically pushed it up against the window, and you just saw it just become like a noodle. Out the window.
As it cried. And those has some big eyes.
God, big eyes. Now, I haven't seen the newest Prometheus one. The one that David is actually breeding.
You're talking about Alien...
Covenant.
Covenant, yes.
The Colony.
The sequel to Prometheus.
And the one, I believe, is before the second movie?
No, it's before the first movie.
Is it?
Yes, it's actually... It is...
Is it on the same planet?
It's on the same planet. It's
Okay.
it's basically it's the sequel to Prometheus, but another prequel to the Aliens movies. It's what you find.
Let's see here. The Deacon was the first one. I think this is the proto-alien.
Yeah.
Because it's still more little human, and you can still see the skull of the humanoids.
Yeah. Pretty sure I have Alien Covenant.
It's been a long time. But, okay. Now, my pick for this three-way war is actually the Xenomorphs. Because of one factor is the regenerators. Now, could they regenerate from acid burns? Probably. They can regenerate themselves from hot plasma cutters that basically cuts through heavy stone. These stones are designed to withstand.
That's what I said, Xenomorphs and the Predators, because of the fact that...
Now, because they're dead, they don't come up on anything.
No.
The only way you can find out what they are is by sound. Basically just by sound or visual. Because they don't produce anybody heat because they're already dead.
Yeah, and they're actually quieter than any of the... They're actually quieter than the Predator.
Yeah, very quiet.
That's why the Predator chose them for hunting. Because they were the ultimate...
Now, see, I don't know if there is going to be a crossover with all three of them. Now, if there is, oh God, it's going to be one epic.
Especially with this new president.
This is going to be one. Oh yeah, even the hybrids. We can't forget about those giants.
Yeah, the new hybrid predator.
Oh my God, one of them takes out one hunter type. And we'll get to that movie too. Because there's a lot that I've heard on the internet, on YouTube's theories. But, that guy, he had to be taken out with his own weapon with a grenade. And then shot in the head.
And then cut in half. Remember?
Was he cut in half?
He lost his legs and his arms, so pretty much, he was...
And his other arm.
Yeah.
Basically, he was a torso with a head.
He was actually destroyed with his own arm and his own gun by a human. And then the humans find the Predator killer.
Actually, now that... They do recover that. Which makes him on equal footing, and the main protagonist's son, which is actually his son, is actually the protagonist of the film. Actually,
yeah.
His brain is so advanced, in a sense,
because he's autistic.
He's autistic. He can basically read the Predator's language.
Yeah, that's why they chose him.
That's the reason why they chose him, or the hybrid chose him because he's the next evolutionary stage of humanity.
Yeah.
Which, in Marvel, X-Men, he's a mutant. In a sense. First stage of mutants.
I'm beginning to wonder with his intellectual, if he's up there with Professor Xavier.
Yeah, I mean...
Well, without the telekinesis and telepathic, just
now,
the fact that he can...
My question is this, Sam. Do you think he'd be able to recreate more of those Predator killers?
I think he could. With his ability to be able to read their language with no problem.
He just needs a schematic and find out what type of metal it is and substitute that metal for something that we have.
I mean, this is a kid who is 9, 10 years old.
8.
Maybe.
Between 8 to 10.
And was able to control the Predator's ship just by playing with
a little remote.
Because he didn't know what it was. He thought it was a video game.
And he also learned from the mask that the Predator alien, or not the Predator alien, but the Predator that came to Earth to deliver it saw. So, I mean, they're gene splicing themselves to make themselves better.
Yeah.
Now,
that's why they wanted him, because he of his intellectual intellect.
But
and the thing is that
in the Predators, the guy who's crazy, I mean, he is plumb nuts.
Yeah.
But there's a reason. Because he's been on that planet for so long, the only thing he strives to do is survive.
Yeah, I remember what you're talking about now. It took me a second.
The airborne.
Yeah.
The parachuter.
Yeah.
But, doesn't go far.
No, he gets killed.
Mad Dog rips him a new one. But when he comments to the group that survives to meet him is there's a civil war.
Yep.
The big guys are killing the smaller guys. So, I mean, they're going to have to find allies, oncoming allies. I mean, the reason why they come after us is because our cunning, our ability to adapt quickly.
And they basically just want to take over our world.
They want to take over our world because we're already terraforming it. Global warming, making it nice and greenhousey for them. I mean...
And the thing, and if you also think about it, they need to, on another movie, they need to do the background of the Predators. Because you never, the entire time these Predator movies... You
don't really get to know how the gene splicings are happening. How you get a glimpse of it.
Well, it's not that. It's that you don't know where they come from, why they're like they are.
Yeah.
You learn about the aliens through Prometheus. Yep. You learn about the aliens, the alien covenant. You know that the aliens are there to adapt, to take over, to move from place to place. Yeah, but you really don't know what the Predators, besides the fact that they're hunters.
Yeah.
That's all you know is that they're
sports hunters.
Yeah.
Well, actually, sports hunters is not the term that they used in the movie.
No.
They used big game hunter.
Big game, yeah. But so all you know is that they hunt.
Yeah.
You don't know where. You don't know.
Now, there's one characteristic that Shane Black overlooked in the Predator is when Predators do not choose the person that they fight one-on-one. They don't choose. This one wanted to fight the kid.
Yeah.
Or
the father.
He thought it was the father. The person that was next in evolution.
Yeah.
But, the way the Predator code is, because that Predator actually broke the first code of the Predators. If someone proves that they are worthy to face you one-on-one, hand-to-hand, fist to fist, you are supposed to take your gear off to match. Predators, They have superior strength, superior height, probably superior speed.
Oh yeah.
I mean, if they're small framed, like in the Predators, which was a real small one. Which, in that movie, the samurai dies, so does it. But it honored that first law.
Yeah. And also, you think about it, in Alien vs. Predator, the Predator from those movies are, well, actually, they weren't oversized, but
no, they were brutes. They were of the because of the old RTS type AVP. There's many different casts.
Oh, yeah. Well, also, if you, I don't know if you ever watched the behind the scenes of how they did Alien vs. Predator. They actually had to. The reason why they look so massive is because of the maze, the underground pyramid was so small.
Yeah.
That they made it to where the Predators were bigger, so that
there was one that was about the size that Arnold went up against. David Glover went up against.
Yeah. But
the other two, they were brute size.
Well, see, I watched the behind the scenes on when they're for Alien vs. Predator, and they said that whenever they were building the set, that they made the Predators 7 foot tall to oversize the whole idea of that, that they're massive compared to
the
6
humans average.
Yeah, and also the fact that they're gigantic compared to the pyramids.
Exactly.
The
Predators have green blood. The Xenomorphs, they have the green blood too.
Yeah.
But their blood is more acidic.
Yeah.
So
that's why
in the second Aliens, they actually portrayed how toxic and how acidic their blood is. I mean, that's the first time you get to see it.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it burns through the Colonial Marines armor like it was paper.
And it goes through the ceiling, the floor, the ceiling, the floor, the ceiling, the floor.
Yeah, I mean, it just keeps going straight.
Yeah, until it stops.
Until it hits the gravity.
Yeah.
Which on Earth, you probably burn up in the in our mantle.
Yeah, but still,
there will be a very small pinhole through the ground, through the earth, through the bedrock, and hits the mantle, and then here's this little spit of molten rock going through. It's like, don't step on that, because then you'd be basically having a hole through your foot.
Of course, you had a dumbass. Oh look!
Hey, look!
Yeah,
my eye. Dumbass. Now, Slither, I have it on DVD. Yes. I've watched it several times. It's a great movie.
Yes.
Back when it was released, it was a B-rated movie.
It's Yeah. It's actually a remake of a 1975 movie called The Creeps.
The Creeps.
Night of the Creeps. Basically, Night of the Creeps is the same type of deal.
Okay, the Creeps is basically these slugs that infest the humans and tries to reproduce themselves.
It's called Night of the Creeps, and
I've seen that one too. Yeah. That one's good too.
Yeah, that is what Slither is a remake of. Except Slither is that they just did a comedy version.
Yeah,
because
especially the ass thing that had to hurt,
and the fact that they all know that they all.
Or was that a different movie?
Which one?
Okay, this one was where he was actually ice fishing. And he had to take a shit. This thing basically pops out of his ass in the toilet. I think that's the first time you see the Slithers. Before it takes on the hick.
No.
Or I'm thinking of a different movie.
I think you're thinking of a different movie. I know what you're talking about.
That movie is, God, I don't know if it's a B movie still or, because I hope it's not a cult classic, because the original Evil Dead, the Evil Dead 2, those are cult classics. And Army of Darkness, that's a good B movie. Which I was actually wondering, why did they make a new movie, Evil Dead? But then I realized it's after the second movie.
Yeah.
Before the third, but after the second.
Yeah. It's another.
Or it's after the first. I can't remember which way it's going to go, because the cabin's still there.
Yeah. Basically, what it is, the remake of Evil Dead is instead of Ash, it's a female version of Ash. Is what it is. Because in the comic books, Ash has a second person, which is the female.
Yeah.
And so they're bringing in her as the main contagious for hero for this one. Yeah.
Now, are they going to continue with the actual story of it,
I don't
or they're just going to call it a Dead? Because
I hope they continue, because I thought the remake was awesome.
I thought it was great too.
Of course, I have.
It was better than the first one.
I don't know.
In the graphics. But
yeah,
I like the old graphics better because you get to feel the gruesome and the dead of it.
Oh yeah, and plus it's Bruce Campbell.
Oh yeah, I mean Bruce Campbell has this TV series called
Ash versus Evil Dead.
Versus Evil Dead. There's 2 seasons. I watched the first season.
I watched a couple. I think I watched like 1 or 2 episodes of the first season.
He gets drunk. He brags that he took on the horde of dead and evil. The guy can't keep his damn mouth shut for nothing.
He works at a Target style work. Apparently he's never on time.
No, he's never on time, and he's always talking shit.
Yeah.
But he decides to read from the book yet again. This guy never learns. This guy never learns.
If you think about it, in the remake, the guy didn't learn in the remake either.
True.
I mean, it's like, if a book
has a face,
well, plus has a face, plus if it's wired and nailed shut, there is a reason.
Yes. To keep it shut. Oh, let's just open this up. Do you have any wire cutters? Yeah, here you go.
Yeah.
Snip, 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 snip.
But I will say this. I will say that there is points.
Now with the series. Now let's go back to the series here.
Okay.
Nothing happens at first. Then he gets some deja vu with the damn toys, little Barbie dolls, little baby doll things attacking. And of course, the Mexican, which I'm not being racist, but that's basically what he calls him.
Yeah,
El Poncho. I swear, I believe that Ash. I'm not dissing Bruce Campbell because I don't know the man. I don't know if he's racist type or not. But Ash, he is a blithering idiot. Don't give him any alcohol. He may be able to shoot the head of a deadite with a double-barrel shotgun when he's drunk, but still, don't give him a chainsaw, don't give him a shotgun when he's drunk.
And if you notice,
and don't give him the book.
And if you notice, what's interesting is that in the TV series, he has 2 hands.
He does have 2 hands when he fights Belle, which is weird.
Because he lost his hand in the movie.
Because he returns back to the past.
And what's also interesting, if you notice, in the remake, she loses her hand also.
Loses the same hand?
The same hand. In a bad way, too. Under the Bronco.
Yeah. But, still, the hand gets gone.
Chopped off, and the chainsaw comes in there. Yeah.
Comes back in play.
Yeah.
Which is nice. I mean, you can't...
Oh, yeah.
Chainsaw... and the double-barrel shotgun is your 2 primary things when you're going after deadites. Those are the Deadite Kryptonites.
Yes, they are.
Now,
no pun intended, sir.
no. Yeah, I mean...
Have you seen Justice League yet?
Yes, I have seen Justice League, but we'll put that on a hold here because we're about to run out of time here.
Wow.
We're hitting the 50 mark, or the 51 mark.
No one's watching.
Yeah.
That's okay, though.
But it's going to be still on my channel. Sam Prime. He has his own channel with someone else. I am not at liberty to say his name because I didn't ask him if I could say who he is.
Yeah.
But he is on the channel that Sam is on, which is
House of Grey Rabbit.
And they do watch
really bad horror movies.
Supposed to be really stupid, really bad horror movies.
It was actually supposed to be.
Some of them turns out to be good.
Well, so far we've had one.
I mean, I have a few recommendations if you really want some really stupid, idiotic B movies that you just want to sit down and just laugh your ass off.
Well, let me know.
Two of them is Evil Bong.
Oh, I already seen them.
Evil Bong 1, Evil Bong 2, King Bong. I haven't watched the third one. I really do want to watch the third one. If I remember correctly, I have, but I'm not sure. If I have, because I don't have it.
Yeah, Evil Bong 1, Evil Bong 2,
there's also Demonic Toys.
Oh, yeah. I watched every movie that company has come out with.
Puppet Master. They're doing a remake of that one too.
They've actually, you know that they've actually made like 5 new ones.
They're also remaking Hellboy.
Yeah.
Problem is, our boy Ron Perlman will not be playing.
But you know what's funny is you cannot tell it's not him either.
Exactly, with all the makeup, but you can tell his voice.
Yeah, but it's very tough.
It's very tough, but you can still hear.
Yeah, but the guy that's taking over his spot,
hopefully they don't fuck it up.
I don't think they're going to, because I saw the preview
too. They go to England because they got an international incident.
Yeah.
Which I don't know why they're just calling it Hellboy. Why couldn't they just call it Hellboy International? Like Men in Black. Men in Black International.
Have you seen the preview for that?
Yes, I have. I even did a little bit of research about it. There are 2 posters on the wall. One is the original 50s group, which is Liam Neeson and Chris Hayfield. The same Chris Hayfield that plays as Thor. But he has short hair.
Yeah.
Real short.
Actually, that's Chris Hemsworth.
Oh, well, I mean... Sorry, okay? I'm sorry if I butchered his last name. I got his first name right, and I got that what he played as in the Marvel universe. Come on. Cut me some slack. But, yeah, and... Liam Neeson is going to be the director of the England or European branch of this one, which is going to be a different pace for him. But in most of the movies I've seen him in, he nailed each and every one.
Oh, yeah. Liam Neeson's awesome.
So, there's going to be another... and Michael Jackson did a cameo in one. I think it was the second one, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, it was the second one, yes.
Which he kept on saying, well, he could be Special Agent M. Well, guess what? The main protagonist of this film is Agent M. And she gets teamed up with Agent... I can't remember his name, but it's Agent something. Yeah. The guy who plays as Thor.
Chris Hemsworth.
Yes. And that's going to be, I think, in May.
I think so.
March or May. I mean, we got 3 good movies coming. I mean, we got Men in Black International. We got Captain Marvel and In War or In Game.
In-game. There's also a lot of video games coming out this year too.
Yeah.
Especially at the end of the year.
I mean, next month it's going to be Anthem.
I thought that was this month.
No, it's next month.
I thought it was this month.
It is on February 21st.
Of course, you know this.
Yes, I got it on the calendar too. I made sure. I mean, I'm hoping that. I mean, I didn't have any issues with Mass Effect Andromeda.
I never played the Mass Effect game.
A lot of people didn't like it because it wasn't a continuation. This was totally different from what they had. Problem is, it is a continuation of Mass Effect.
Yeah.
Because Shepard is dead. Shepard's gone.
Listen, I never played any of the Mass Effect games, so I never...
So, you know, they want to... It's either the prequel to the first one, or it is the... After 20 years, Shepard dies, and we want to expand our horizons to make more humans.
I just know my game comes out December 31st, 2019.
Which is?
Final Fantasy VII Remake. I'm so ready for that. It's been in talks for like how many freaking years?
Oh, yeah. I mean...
Finally, after about, I think a year ago, they finally said that it was going to come out. And if you look at you can look it up online and like through Amazon and Walmart.com, it actually said, you can pre-order it, and it says December 31st, 2019.
You could probably pre-order it on
PlayStation
platform, which is PlayStation, Xbox One. I don't know if it's going to be on the Switch.
I don't think it is. I think it's mainly
or
Xbox and
PC.
It might be PC. I'm not sure.
So, and Sam's going to look that up for you guys. But yeah. I mean, we got some good movies coming out.
Yeah.
Meg was one of the good ones that I've seen with them. Action-packed. And if you really want something that will keep you on your toes and at the edge of your seat and scare the shit out of you with jump scares, that movie, I mean, you don't expect it happening, because those are like a red herring type. It builds up and then releases it in an instant. There's also some movies that's been around. Five Nights at Freddy's, or SNAF for short. If you like jump scares, that's some good ones. There's some fake ones, fan-made. There's also...
It's only going to be on PlayStation 4? Because it's a...
it's a PlayStation original.
Yeah.
I played the demo back on when it was on the PlayStation 1 demo type.
I have it for PlayStation 2.
I thought it was a great thing.
Oh, yeah.
I couldn't get into it because it's a damn demo.
I got into it the moment it came on PlayStation 4, on PlayStation 2. I still have it to this day.
Now, here's something for you, Sam.
Yes.
Are they going to put... Gotta wrap this up. Are they going to put Final Fantasy VII as a multiplayer, or is it just going to be a classic solo?
Probably solo. I think all they're going to do. I think what they're basically doing on it is remastering the special effects,
graphics,
all that.
Sound, making it HD.
Making it from the effects of the graphics from PlayStation 2, just bumping up the graphics for PlayStation 4. Because
they did with The Last of Us.
Yeah, and like with it, and if you think about it, like Final Fantasy 15, it's not a multiplayer game. It's a...
Okay, originally it wasn't a multiplayer game, but there is a DLC. It's called Companions. That is the multiplayer.
Oh, really?
Yes.
Okay, I never...
You actually make your own character.
What's bad about it is that...
But it's actually after the protagonist is gone.
Oh, really?
It's not where he dies. He has disappeared.
What's funny is I bought that game when it first came out.
I did too.
And I think I played like one day.
Yeah.
And I just never.
And it's just back on the shelf
Well, the thing
collecting
is,
dust.
well, the thing is, I have so many games. I can't just play one game.
Yeah.
I'm not like these people who just, okay, I want to focus on one game. Plus, also, I have 2 consoles. I have Xbox One and I have PS4. The problem is, a lot of the games I have it for both games.
Yes.
That's the only one game I don't have is Final Fantasy 15. I don't have it for PS4. It's only Xbox One.
Yeah.
But I have so many games on both consoles that I just can't and I'm just not the type of person. Now, I will say this, whenever Final Fantasy 7 Remake does come out for the PlayStation 4, more than likely
You're jumping on that gun.
I will jump on it and I will see if I can get as far as I did on the original.
How far did you get on the original?
I got almost to the very end. I got the 4th, it came on 4 discs, and I got to the 4th disc and almost to the very end of the game.
So, hopefully he can tell us how many discs is going to be on it.
Yes, hopefully. I'm hoping just
how great it's going to look, how well it's going to look.
Because, in my opinion, Cloud Strife is one of the best.
Especially the Buster Sword. I mean, that's 7 swords in one.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you got the versatility right there. Oh, actually, take that back. It's not 7. It is 8.
Yeah.
Because you have 7 individual blades that makes up the big gun.
Yeah. Which I actually had that sword. I was able to get the very last sword.
So.
The only problem is that
it takes a long time.
And my biggest problem was on that game was having to get the final material, which was Knights of the Round Table. In order to get Knights of the Round Table, you had to breed chocobos, because Knights of the Round Table is in a cave in the middle of the desert. Well, the problem is that the only way you can do it to get there is to have a black chocobo.
And a chocobo is a giant ostrich.
Yes. And so
but it doesn't kill you.
No.
That's the nice thing.
It doesn't kill you. It lets you ride it. And you have to breed and breed and breed until you get I think it's a black or gold.
It's one of them.
It's one of the two. I think it's a black chocobo that you have to find.
It's either black or gold.
It's one of the two.
But, I mean, you can probably do the research on YouTube, online, the Wikipedia.
It's just a pain in the butt to do it because it just takes a long time. You have to know what it is. You have to know which one is like, oh god. So I just said, that's as far as I got on that game right now. So I'm waiting for the remake to come out, then I won't have to worry. Because I mean, I like my PS2, I like my PS4 better, and I don't have to worry about having to switch over.
Yeah.
And the moment that game comes out, I'll just say, okay, I won't have to worry about having to switch over to my PS2.
Bring it out, dust it off, get the controllers out, hook the controller up. I mean, the controllers was only, 10-foot long cable?
Yeah. So.
If you were lucky...
Mine's right beside my TV anyway in my bedroom.
Exactly.
So I have 2 systems in my bedroom. I have one system in my living room, and I have the rest of them in my...
In storage.
Yeah. Because I have now a collection of systems now.
We talked a lot about a lot of movies, some games, and some one crossover.
Yeah.
If they can actually make the Necromorphs into a live-action type movie, which is going to be kind of hard to do because there's a lot.
Wasn't there talks about a Dead Space movie? I thought
there was, and then it just slowly died.
I noticed that they do that a lot
because they were saying a lot of things about StarCraft Nova, which is you are playing as a ghost. You're playing Nova. From StarCraft 2.
Oh, Dark Phoenix. It's coming out this year, too.
Dark Phoenix is coming out. That's going to be a clone of someone?
No, it's Jean Grey. It's not a clone of Jean Grey. No. It's what it is, Jean Grey, whenever the Phoenix...
Or a twin?
No. The Phoenix is it's not a parasite, it's a being. It's a very powerful being from another...
So basically like Galactus.
Yes, except that it takes over
The host.
the host. And what they're doing is they're portray Jean Grey, because Jean Grey had the Dark Phoenix
In the
comic books.
X-Men 2 and 3.
Yeah. But in the comic books,
It was actually Storm who had it first.
yeah,
Then it jumped from her to
Phoenix,
Jean Grey.
because Jean Grey was more powerful.
Exactly.
And Jean Grey has always had the ability to have the Phoenix in her. It's
Exactly.
just that,
She couldn't control it.
yeah,
Was the problem.
yeah, and so but
Because in the movie, I think in the
third movie is whatever.
third movie, Professor Xavier actually tells Logan that Jean Grey is actually possibly when he met her, she was possibly more powerful than he was at her age. And now with the Red Phoenix, it's like she is a demigod type setting.
She was the most powerful mutant that, as a child, that he had ever found.
And
Because-
Magneto was still not the evil Magneto that we knew.
Well, he was, but he wasn't.
He didn't have the plans that he had then.
Yeah, but
He was helping
they're
the
actually-
professor at
they're actually
trying to help.
they're going to portray Jean Grey in this movie as having as being schizophrenic and multiple personality.
basically like Deadpool in the comics.
Yeah,
That's the one thing I did not like when they did the Deadpool movie is Deadpool has to have these voices in his head. I mean, they got the fourth wall breaking, especially the double fourth wall breaking.
oh yeah.
And he goes off and just blows his damn mind because he's trying to figure out how to say that because that's a fourth wall by a fourth wall. That's a 16 wall.
Yeah.
It's like, okay.
But you also got to remember, this guy also is.
He's a mark with a mouth. He doesn't shut up.
Yeah. And he's pure cancer now.
Basically, he has the ability of a newt. You cut a newt, leg off, it's gonna go. Bloop,
For
that
him,
bitch.
For him, it takes a little bit, but he.
But I mean, yeah, the newt takes a little longer too. But you know, it's about the same there. I mean, I don't know who gave that female her power name, Teenage Megasonic Warhead. It's like, God, that's a lot of words. I can remember when it was like Jean Grey or Cyclops or Storm. I mean, one word, maybe two. You know, it's like Professor X, Magneto, Colossus, Wolverine, Sabretooth. I mean, I would actually make her name into Atomic Warhead.
Yeah.
I mean, come on.
I just love.
Or Mini Nuke.
Yeah. Depends on what she was.
I mean, she could hit a piece of ship steel. These are designed not to buckle under any pressure. And slam it against 10 guys. They're not getting back up. They are pushing Daisy's pancake style.
Yeah.
But, yeah, I mean, we got several movies coming out. We got some good games coming out. Dying Light 2, that's a real big if for me. Because you got a lot more choices in it. The first one was... The first one, if you want a parkour survival type game, Dying Light, there you go. Because there are a lot of missions that you have to do at night. There are zombie creatures that will rip your chest open, rip your head off, and shit down it. They are called the Hunters.
Yeah, I prefer my first-person shooters. And
It's a first-person type game too.
My horror games.
You can mod things, swords, clubs, baseball bats, tire irons too. You can go Morgan Freeman on them.
I prefer my Call of Duty games.
But I mean,
Doom? Oh, Doom 2 is supposed to be coming out this year too. Doom Eternal.
Yes, Doom Eternal. I don't know if it's going to be the original Doom guy, because in the original game, he was full Marine armored. This one, you actually get to see some of his skin.
Yeah. But there was
He also has a wrist blade, like the Predator. There's going to be more guns, more variants of guns, more enemies,
more melee weapons,
more super shotgun. It actually has a grappling hook or grappling claw thing that you can actually cut enemies' heads off with, which is nice.
And you can grapple.
You can grapple on it and propel yourself to them.
I saw the previews of the second game. Looks really good. It's
previews. It looks awesome.
Yes, I was very. When I saw it, I'm like, oh yeah.
Division 2 comes out.
Oh yes, it does.
The end of this year too.
I think it comes out like
December 31st.
Is it December 31st?
The reason why, that's what they did for the first one. They did it at the end of the year because they didn't know if they're going to be done on time. Because if they're not, they can set it to next year at the end of the year. Because that gives them plenty of time to get the bugs worked out. Because that's the reason why I like Tom Clancy's The Division. I don't know if the servers are still up for it yet, still or not. But
actually, I need to play that. I have it. I got it. It came with my Xbox One.
It's a good game. It's great with friends.
Another game by Tom Clancy, Rainbow Six Siege, is really good too.
There's a lot of YouTubers. There's Cartoon. Some of the other Ohm and Gorilla.
That's why people
they're still playing that game, and
I still play it. I have all my friends still play it.
There's a lot of new games coming out this year. There's a lot of good movies coming out this year. There's some games.
There was games that came out awesome last year.
Yeah.
Call of Duty Black Ops 4.
Call of Duty Black Ops 4. No story, but you do get a semblance of a story with the agents.
Yeah.
You get more story with the zombies, which is great.
Oh, yeah.
You actually get a new mode.
Yeah. Blackout.
Call of Duty's actually trying to do the Battle Royale.
It's taken...
Fortnite has went into another lawsuit. This time they are taking dances from other people. Which is, here's the thing. If you didn't patent it, don't cry about it. Yeah. That's the first rule. It's just like this, the singer who patented Happy Birthday song. Every time you play that song, you have to pay royalties for it.
But then again, Fortnite sucks, so it doesn't matter anyway.
Yeah. Fortnite's great if you have nothing else to do. It's just a time killer.
I tried playing it, I suck. So I will do...
I don't do the Battle Royale, I do the story, which is a little bit more fun.
I just don't do...
It's just more time consuming.
I just don't do Fortnite. Honestly, I don't do Blackout. My multiplayer, and zombies. For any of the Call of Duties.
And doing this specialist, because then you can actually get yourself familiar with the specialists.
Oh, yeah.
Fallout 76. Let's talk about that. I know you don't play it.
No.
You've watched some of the previews.
I watched you play it.
It sucks. Come on, Bethesda. Fallout 4 was great. Fallout 3 was great.
I tried playing Fallout. I believe it was Fallout 3 for Xbox 360, and I just couldn't get into it. For some reason, there's games I just can't get into.
Yeah, it's the same way with me.
It's nothing against me. It just doesn't catch my eye.
It's like sports for me. I can't get into sports.
Yeah.
Unless there's blood.
I mean,
if I can ram a spear up a damn quarterback's ass, I'll play it.
I mean, I follow football because of the game. Like the teams, like Dallas Cowboys is my team. They've been my team all my life, 30-something years.
Yeah.
Peyton Manning has always been one of my
He
favorites.
retired.
Yes, he retired last year. Yes, he finally retired this past year, about a year or so ago, a couple years ago.
I thought he did his last plays was this last year.
It was with the Denver Broncos. Yes, and he's one of the greatest.
So his
ever.
next career step is probably coaching.
Oh yeah, either coaching or ownership, maybe, possibly, or just watching.
Yeah,
just being a fan,
or
probably.
Just being moral support for
his brother,
his teammates of all the teams he's played with.
I think he'll be in the Hall of Fame within the next year or so.
Oh yeah,
because of all of his, even though he might not have won very many Super Bowls, but he was. I don't know. A lot of people don't know, but whenever he collects all of his books from previous years of quarterback, and that's how he trains.
That's good.
He's read like I've been talking about from like college years also.
Oh yeah.
And that's what he does. That's why he was such a good quarterback, because he
learned his trade.
Yes. Well, I've never been really big into playing sports games either. Like when I was younger, I played baseball games. That was one of the only ones I actually ever played was baseball.
Let's see here. Metro. They got a new game coming out.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's the third Metro, and this one looks a little more different. I've played the first one. I couldn't get into the second one because I had to play the first one. The first one on easy is hard. Let me put it like that. I mean, there is no way around it.
There's a lot of games like that.
Because you actually have to find these filters on the surface to survive. And you're getting bombarded. The AI characters are crap. But let's go back to Bethesda. Bethesda, they rushed Fallout 76 because they wanted to get out there before Black Friday. And then they turned around. They made $40 for Black Friday.
Yeah.
That's telling you how much they do not trust their product.
Well, hell, if you look at if you look at other YouTube channels,
there's glitches.
They knock.
I mean, the game is broke.
That's why I never tried to buy it. I just like I said, I tried to get into Fallout back in the day. I just couldn't do it.
I mean,
me, like I said, my games are RPGs.
Yep.
First-person shooters.
What about RTSs?
Mine are, like I said,
Command and Conquer.
I never played Command and Conquer.
I have.
I just, like I said, I've played all the Final Fantasy games. The only ones I didn't play was 1, 2, and 3.
Those were actually back in Japan.
Yeah.
The first one for us was actually 7.
Yeah, 7, yeah.
And then it was 8.
It was 8. There was Final Fantasy 7, and they did Final Fantasy 7 Dirge of Cerberus.
That's pretty much like a DLC for it.
Yeah, no, it's a separate game.
Oh yeah, but it's like X1 and X2.
Yeah, instead of being Cloud Strife, it's the guy with the guns.
Yeah,
and it's his game.
It's his storyline.
Yeah, and then you have Final Fantasy 8, Final Fantasy 9, 10, 10-2, 11, 11-2, 12. 13, 14.
14 is actually online.
Yeah.
Because it's called A New Reborn.
Yeah, now 15. But then they also have Final Fantasy Tactics, Final Fantasy. There were so many Final
Fantasy Tactics is actually on Game Boy Advance.
Yes.
I still have it, actually.
Oh, really?
It's a fun game, but it gets old.
Yeah. And so,
because you have to beat the enemy in a certain amount of turns, or within certain conditions, within a certain amount of time.
Like I said, my games are RPGs, like Final Fantasy, Doom, first-person shooters, Doom,
yeah,
Call of Duty. All that I've played all the games.
Borderlands.
Borderlands, yeah. Now I'm starting to get into Borderlands. It's taken me a little bit to get into it. But, you know,
do you still have a PS3?
No, I never owned a PS3.
Oh.
I never owned a PS3. I went from PS2 to Xbox 360 to Xbox One, PS4.
So you skipped one generation of the PlayStation.
Actually, I skipped two because I skipped my dad had the first PlayStation.
But you grew up with it.
Oh yeah, I've grown up with all the systems
except for the P3.
PS3, the PSP. Of course, I'm not really big with the Nintendo Switch.
Well, the Nintendo Switch has its own little glitches, its own little things.
I own the original Nintendo. I started gaming back whenever the Atari was around.
Me too. I mean, this is the systems I owned or played with.
Yeah.
Was the Atari 2600.
Yeah.
Cartridges.
Yeah.
Good God, there was some good games. I love Centipede.
Asteroids. Galaga.
Command.
Yeah.
Missile Command, that's what it's called.
Yeah, Missile Command.
Then my dad decided to move up to the Nintendo.
Yeah. That was my...
me and my brother, we used to play hard on that little guy. I mean, we thought we were going to break it. I mean, the shell on the outside was actually heating up because we played so much. I mean, the controllers was wearing out.
I went from that to the Super Nintendo.
My dad bought the Super Nintendo because he wanted baseball. He's a baseball fan. My dad is a baseball fan.
Oh, I love baseball.
He likes football, but if there's a baseball game, he's going to say, screw y'all, I'm watching the game.
Texas Rangers, my team.
My dad has several. That's how he is. That's how he rolls.
Yeah.
I like baseball a little bit, but I just like the score. You know, that's one thing I liked about the score. You hit a home run, that's 1 point. If the bases were loaded, that's 4.
Yeah.
You know, football, okay, touchdown is 6. A field goal is either a 1 or 3. Another touchdown is a 2. That's too many damn things.
Yeah, I had to start off with mom and dad had the Atari.
And then we didn't go with Nintendo 64.
Oh, I did.
We didn't have that.
Actually, technically, before I got my Super Nintendo, I had a Sega Genesis for one day.
I had Sega Genesis too. I love Primal Rage.
I had a Sega Genesis for one day, Christmas Day.
Primal Rage was mine and my brother's stuff. If we had an argument, okay, let's just finish this in right here. Boom. I picked my character, he picked his, we go at it, we had fun. We forgot what we were arguing about. I mean, it's like...
Yeah, my parents bought me a Sega Genesis, the first generation Sega Genesis, for Christmas, and I had it for one day. Because the controller was messed up. And so it froze my game. And so we're like, well, hell, what are you going to do?
Yeah.
So we went to the store, we went to where the hell we bought it from.
Now...
And then I went to Super Nintendo, then I went to Nintendo 64.
I have played on the Nintendo 64 before.
GoldenEye 007.
That one.
That was the first
Mario Kart.
Yeah.
But I didn't own the system. I believe my brother did.
I did. I bought it for $350.
And
I saved my
one of
money
my
up.
cousins did.
I saved my money up and I bought it. That was the first system I actually bought myself.
Yeah.
Besides the ones I have now, of course.
And then I do believe that my dad decided to buy PS2.
Yeah.
First time. He bought it used. Well, of course, you know, back then, things that was used still worked.
Oh, yeah.
They were built to last.
I forgot how I got my PS2. I'm pretty sure mom and dad bought it for me for some reason.
He even bought me my own game for it. My own personal game. Because he loved playing it too. It was Galactica 3 and 4. Both games, one disc.
Yeah.
But he also bought me something that I used to play in school. It was called MDK. Yeah.
MDK.
You actually play as this idiot who has this high-tech super weapon suit. It's like Samus, but not as bulky. You get the parachute, you don't get to morph into a ball.
Yeah.
It was fun. I mean, you go up against aliens,
Yeah.
and you had fun.
Yeah, after my 64.
Especially the dog who could talk, which is also cybernetic. His name was Max.
After the 64, I got my 360.
And then
started getting into Microsoft. All
my
360.
very first console bought for myself was the fat PS3. The very first gen.
Mine was the 64. The first. That was the first system
The
I ever
first,
bought.
the first 3D. Now we're talking about Nintendo 64 was the first one who used 3D.
Yeah.
Microsoft or PlayStation actually made it a little bit more defiant.
Yeah.
Nintendo 64 made it more almost realistic.
Yeah. Like I said, GoldenEye. No
That's
one's
when
was the first first-person shooter I ever played.
Yeah.
Me and Scotty and all my friends, we played it. We played the hell. Yeah, we always played the open world where it was all four of us playing, and we would always use the golden gun. Of course, the golden gun. It was
one shot.
One shot, one kill.
It didn't matter where you hit.
No.
You could shoot them in the nuts. They went down.
No, that's how I went. 360. I got my 360.
Then, if I remember correctly, 360 was the competition for PS3.
Yes.
Halo was
actually
Microsoft's
Microsoft
and Bungie's heavy hitter for Xbox 360.
Actually,
because they also did the Combat Evolution or Combat Evolve or Evolve Combat, I can't remember what the actual name of it was, for the PC, which was actually the remake. I loved Halo.
The only Xbox I ever had was the original Xbox. Now Scotty had the original Xbox years ago.
Oh yeah.
But I never had. I went straight to the 360, and then of course after the 360,
Xbox One came out, PS4 came out. They were competing head to head.
They still are.
There always are.
Yeah.
There's no going
and if they're already talking about the new Xbox.
Same way with Sony. Sony's saying it's going to be a PlayStation 5 or PlayStation S type, which nobody knows anything about it.
Nobody.
It's under lock and key.
And they also don't know really much about the new Xbox.
I mean,
which honestly, in my opinion, the way I see it, I don't know why they're going so fast. On doing another Xbox or another PS console.
Yeah.
Because the 4 has only been out for a year or two.
2 years now.
And the Xbox One has only been out for.
About 2 years.
No, the Xbox
maybe
3. No, the Xbox One's been out since 2013. It doesn't seem like it has, but it has.
So
it's been out.
Microsoft is actually doing something that they're not rushing their stuff. They're refining things.
But
unlike PlayStation. No, wait a minute. No, PlayStation's been out for 3 years.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, because
they want to be able to do more things with their system.
Yeah, I'm happy with my system right now.
Yeah, me too. I mean, the Pro.
Because I didn't get my Xbox One until I only had my Xbox One for 2 years.
Yeah.
Like a year or two, because I stayed on 360 up until so I said 2 years ago, and then. All of a sudden, I'm talking to my friends. They're like, "Well, everybody has now the Xbox One," and so because I was playing Black Ops 3 on the 360, while everybody else was playing Black Ops 3 on the Xbox One.
Yep.
I didn't know much. I didn't know what the difference was.
Exactly. I mean,
And
with me, I waited 6
I
months
was, yeah,
to a year
I
before I bought my PS4 because I wanted to know, is it going to be a better thing? Am I going to like it? Is there going to be better games for it? What's going to happen in the future for it? Then I heard, they are going to make a new version 2 of it, which is called the Pro.
Yeah.
It's going to be 4K enhanced ability.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, if you have a 4K TV, you're going to see a little bit of difference.
It's not much.
But not much. I mean, it's not going to be 100% like DVD to Bluray.
No, it's not
like
that
they
much
did.
It's not that much of a difference. Really. Even DVD Blu-ray is really not that much. It's just brighter.
It's brighter. It's crispier.
Yeah.
It's brighter color. It's more vibrant.
Yeah.
But, if you're tight on cash, just
buy a DVD.
Just buy a DVD.
Yeah.
They still sell them.
Oh, yeah. And they're not going to stop selling them.
No.
Like I say,
it's also VR compatible.
Yeah.
Which is nice for someone that is on a budget. Because, me, I already have the PlayStation Move controllers because I have a few games for the Move, which I actually enjoy.
Yeah.
Especially that I still enjoy kicking my dad's ass in disc golf. Hole in one, baby, hole in one. I've done it 3 times now.
I waited. I didn't get my PS4 until last year.
Exactly.
And the only reason, I'll tell you the only reason why I bought my PS4.
Why is that?
Doom.
Kick ass, Doom guy.
I mean,
he could. Now, that's something that I want to know about everyone. We're going to stop it right here. Now, here is the question for everyone, which I already know Sam probably knows this answer too. But we want to know what you guys have to say. Could Doom Guy wreck the Predators, the Xenomorphs, the Necromorphs, and Diablo, Ultimate Form Diablo, and all of his little, or her, minions, and Malachi, which is the Angel of Death now? Who would win in that battle royale?
I'm not even sure about that one.
Me neither.
And that's the truth.
It comes close to Doom Guy and the Xenomorph Regenerator. I mean, that's it. Those two will be coming head to head. Now, the Predator, like the hybrid, he could be the third candidate too.
Yeah.
But we want to know what you guys have to say about that. Well, this is Dogy009, also Doug. My special guest, I might have him over next week. Who knows? Maybe another time.
Yeah.
His name is Sam Prime. His channel is
House of the Grey Rabbit.
House of the Grey Rabbit. It's a great show, great channel. Is there any other parting words you want to say here, Sam?
If you're a gamer, keep up the play. Me and Doug, we both love to play. I've been gaming all my life.
I've been gaming most of my life too.
I don't stop. I actually got really back into it after I got divorced.
It's a great time killer. It's a way to...
Oh yeah, it's great stress
reliever too. And also a learning tool.
Oh yeah, like I said, Call of Duty became my best friend for the past 5 years.
Mine was actually Diablo. I believe when my mom passed away, I actually started playing a lot more first-person shooters and hack and slash games because I did not know how to deal with it.
Yeah, I've had deaths in my family.
But now when someone says, well, my father passed away, my mother passed away, my uncle passed away, my grandfather passed away, I just tell them, you take it one day at a time, one step at a time. If you need anyone to talk to, you talk about it.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
There are people out there There's suicide hotlines. There's a lot of people. I mean, counselors, even friends will help you. Even as a random stranger.
I just found out today that one of my classmates I graduated high school with committed suicide last week. In front of his wife.
I believe one of her former cart pushers, one of his friends, committed suicide. I mean, it's rough. People can't deal with stress like other people. They need some person. I mean, that's what we're saying here. This is basically us telling you as people. People need to know that you're there for them.
Yep.
That you care about them. I mean, just because you don't like how they dress, how they smell, how they work, how they look, it doesn't matter. If they look like they need just you to sit down next to them, just stop, talk, listen. I mean, a person that can't talk is better listener than someone who is deaf. Even the deaf person actually listens because they can read your lips. They can read your body language.
I've had a lot of deaths in my family since I was in the past 10, 15 years.
Yeah. I mean, Sam actually was there for me when I was still working through it. I mean, he was a friend. My best friend, his father passed away last year. It was rough on him.
Good stuff.
And, I was there for him. I told him, if you need to talk to me, I'm here. If you need someone to just listen, I'm here.
That's the best thing to do is just listen to people.
Because death is hard. I mean, I had to watch my own mother die 3 times. Well, actually twice before they shut the door. And it's like, that is rough.
Yeah.
I mean, my brother, he's in the Air Force. He didn't have to experience that, but I'm pretty sure he did have to experience his best friend getting hurt or killed or blown up. Because he was never on the front lines. He was at the base repairing the vehicles, doing his part. So what we're saying, I mean, we can't express this as much. I mean, every person, Matt Pat, which is a game theorist, he has a story. I really do want you all to listen to, because it changed someone's life. I mean,
Dogy009's, 298. He's went through.
He's one. I never heard about this person, but Matt Pat, he does. I mean, he sat down with this person, which he had a feeling that this loner, he was going through a tough time. He was actually thinking about committing suicide that night. He just sat down, talked to him, said, "Hey, my name is Magic Patrick, or Matthew Patrick. Do you like drama? Because I'm looking for other people for a drama class or drama club." The guy that was thinking about committing suicide said, "Sure, I'll try." At that moment,
Changed his life.
He changed his life for the better of good. A good friend of Matt, he actually was, last year, he did do a channel. He was on Matt Pat's channels a lot, or the Game Theorist. Even Goomba channel, he was on there too. He committed suicide. He couldn't handle his family. I'm suggesting this. If you can't handle your family, find some friends, talk to them. I mean, just open up. I know it's hard for a lot of people to open up to strangers, to even your closest friends, even your siblings. But it's better than being dead. I mean, you don't know what the future holds for anyone. So, I know I ended this on a very bad note, but I really express that you guys do your part to help other people. Even if you meet a new friend that's having a hard time in a game, help them out. Show them the ropes. Show them how they could do it. And show them the easiest way. I mean, there's several things that I showed Sam on Borderlands 2 how to do. Sometimes he doesn't like it, but hey, I'm helping a friend. So, see you guys. Maybe next week. Maybe later. Stay yourselves. And be good. See ya.